Hey guys, I welcome you all to this live session on web scraping with Python. So before we start off with the session, just give me a confirmation if you guys can see my screen and if I'm audible. So today's session will be a quick introduction to web scraping, and we have a specific library for that which is known as Beautiful Soup, and we'll be implementing web scraping concept with that library. So also I'll just wait for some of the other folks to join in. Till then, I'll inform you guys about our free learning initiative, which is Great Learning Academy. So we've launched this platform known as Great Learning Academy, where we provide almost 100 courses related to data science, AI, digital marketing, stats, cloud, and a lot more. And the best part is you'll get a completion certificate, a course completion certificate, once you enroll for those courses and complete it. So that'd be either assignments or quizzes. You'd have to complete those and you'll get the certificate. So you can add that certificate onto your LinkedIn page or onto your resume, which could be a huge value add to you guys. So the link for that would be available in the chat. You can check that out. And also, if you guys want to learn through an app, we've got the Great Learning app. So you can also find the link for that in the chat as well. And to the folks who have just joined or who are new to our channel, I request you guys to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon, as you'll be notified whenever we are coming up with new live sessions or whenever we are uploading new videos. And also it will encourage us to come up with more such tutorials, and will ensure that your lockdown is as productive as possible. And also I want this session to be as interactive as possible. So today it will be an entirely coding session. So we'll have two short demos where we'll be scraping some data through the CRICBuzz website. So I believe all of you know or all of you would have visited the CRICBuzz website at some point of time, because all of us are cricket fanatics. And then we'll be scraping some data of iPhone reviews. So we'll be scraping data through these two websites over here. So let me just see if there are any questions right now. Tyagarajan is asking, is Beautiful Soup part of Python library? Yes, it is a Python library, and our first task would be to install the library. So to install Beautiful Soup, so you just have to type in pip install Beautiful Soup 4, and this is how we'll be installing the library. So let me just start off with the session then. So we'll have to start by installing this, and since I already have this installed, I'll not run this command over here. Then I would also have to install something known as the request method. Now when it comes to web scraping, what happens is we'd have to send a request to a particular website to get the data, and that is where we would need the requests library. So we'd also have to install this. If you guys are running this code parallelly, I'd request you guys to install both of these libraries. The first library would be Beautiful Soup 4 and the second library would be requests. So go ahead and install these two. Once this is done, we'll go ahead and import some of the libraries which we need. So first we need system, then we need time, then so BS4 basically stands for Beautiful Soup. So from BS4 we are importing Beautiful Soup, and then we are also importing requests, and then we are importing pandas. So we're not really using pandas in this particular session though. So let me just go ahead and import all of these. Now that this is done, what I'll do is I will open up the CRICBuzz website over here, and this is very interesting. So this is the home page of CRICBuzz. So what we are going to do is we will extract all of this, what you see, so we've got headlines over here, and we've got the summary of the headlines over here, and that is what we'll be extracting today. So let's say this is one such headline, and let's say if I want to extract this again is the next headline. Then we've got the next news article over here, and then we'll extract this. Similarly, we've got this over here, and this is what we'll be extracting. Now what I'll actually do is I will clear all of the outputs and restart my kernel so that you can actually see how this is happening. Now let me go ahead and run this. Let me see if there are any questions. Teja is asking, can we scrape through most secure site? Scraping is, I believe you're confusing scraping through with hacking. So all we are doing is we are taking this data. Now it's as simple as Control C, Control V, isn't it? So let's see if it's even if it's the most secure website, you can still go ahead and copy the text like this and paste it somewhere else. So this, what we're doing is we are automating this process of Control C, Control V with a library called as Beautiful Soup, and that is what is known as web scraping. Ankit is asking, can we do this in collab? Absolutely, we can do this in collab. So now, to all of the folks who are asking, let's say, can we do this in collab or can we do this in PyCharm? Now, all of these are just IDEs. So irrespective of whatever IDE you're using, the Python code will be the same. So all of this will, will run irrespective of whatever IDE you're using. Uzma is asking, what do we have to download? So we will start off by installing Beautiful Soup for. So whatever ID. So let's say if you're using Jupyter Notebook, you would have to install Beautiful Soup for with this command. Similarly, we would need the request command because we'll be sending requests to all of the websites to install this. So you'd have to install these two to start off with. Right. So after we install Beautiful Soup and this, then we'll just go ahead and import all of the libraries which we need, and we will be scraping these data which you see. So we've got the headlines over here, and after the headlines we've got a short summary of whatever news article that is. So our first task would be to use the request method to get this data from this particular website. So, and also we'll put this in a try catch block over here. Now, because there's a very good chance that, let's say if we are sending a request, then the website may not accept our request. So if the website doesn't accept our request, then in that case we'll get an error and we'd have to handle it. So that is why we are putting this request.get method inside the try block over here. So we'll just type request.get, and inside this we would have to give in the name of the website or the name of the page from which we'd have to extract the data. And I'd want to extract data from this particular website. So I'll just use request.get, and here I'll give in the name of the website, and I will store this in a new object, and I'll call that object to be page. Now, once this is done, we would have to handle the exception. So to handle exception, we'll type accept exception as E, and these are the different types of errors which could be thrown if the request is not met. So error type, error object, error info, and we'll have, so when we're using system.execute.info, we'll have all of this. And we'll just, if there's an error, then we'll just print out error for link URL. Now we're not really using this right now, and then we'll print error type, so whatever that is. So this is how we are handling the error if we come across an error. Now, during web scraping, let's say if you automate a process and if you're continuously sending requests to a website, there's a good chance that you'll be blocked from that particular website. So to ensure that whatever program we are creating is the website doesn't flag it off as a bot, so we have to time out our request. So here when I say time.sleep and I give the value of 2, with the help of this, what we are ensuring is we are that we will not be blocked from a particular website. So that is why this is very important. So let's say if you don't given the delay over here, then if you continuously send requests to a website, then there's a very good chance that you will be blocked. Now, after we add this delay, all we have to do is we will be extracting the text from this. So already we have sent a request to crickbuzz.com and we will have the result in page. And then once we have that, what I want to do is I would want to parse all of that with this HTML parser. Let me actually run this over here. Let's actually see what is happening. Now let me add a new cell over here. So here, let me just print in page and let's see what are we getting. So we just get a response. So we've sent a request to crickbuzz.com and as you see, we've got a result. Now, if there's an error, you will not get this. So if you want to know if the request sent is successful or not, you just have to print this out and see if you get response 200. If you get response 200, that would mean that whatever request you sent, that is that has been responded properly. Now once this is done, we would have to transform this into proper text. So for this we'll be using Beautiful Soup. So Beautiful Soup is used to parse the HTML text, and as you already know, this is used for web scraping. And let me just print out the soup object over here. So this Beautiful Soup, this takes in two parameters. First parameter is page.text. So whatever we are extracting, so we want the text from it, and this is the HTML parser because what we are extracting is actually HTML tags. And let me print this out, and this what you see is the HTML tags of the entire web page. Now let me make it even more clear. So this is the CrickBuzz website. Now just go ahead and type in Control Shift I. Now when you type in Control Shift I or when you press Control Shift I, you will be able to inspect the HTML code for this page. So here what we've extracted is that HTML code. So as you see, this is what we've extracted, and if you look at this closely, this is the same thing which we've extracted over here. Now this is the entire HTML code for this entire page. Now let's say if you want to identify every single element. Now you see every website now has different elements. So to inspect every different element, you would have to type or you'd have to press Control Shift C. Now when you type Control Shift C, you'll be able to select individual elements or individual blocks over here. Now just let me just close this again over here. Now I'll just show you what is happening. So as you see, if I put my cursor over here, then you see that over here the code is changing. Similarly, if I put my cursor over here, again the code is changing. If I put my cursor over here, again the code is changing. And now what we're going to do is we'll see what is the HTML code for these parts over here. So now when I put, actually let me start with the top over here. So let me put my cursor over here, and this is what is present over here. So if you look at this particular code, then this piece of code is present in the division tag, and the class which we are using is big CRD main. Now let me go back over here. So what we are basically doing is once we pass this HTML text to normal text, what we are doing is we would want to find all the div tags, right? So as you see, this text is present in the div tag and it has some attributes. The attribute is CBNWSINTR. So now let me just go ahead and scroll this down a bit. Let me click on this now, right? So if I click on this, you will see that this is present in a div tag and the class or the attribute is equal to CBNWSINTR. Similarly, let me just scroll down over here. Now again I'll press Control Shift and C. Now when I do that, and if I put my cursor over here, again I'll click on this, you will see that this again is present in a division tag and the class is equal to CB News Intro. Now that is what I'd want to extract. So what we are doing is once we extract the entire text from this, so we are storing the entire HTML code in this soup object. Now from this soup object, I would want to find all of the text which is present in division tags. But as you see, we've got a lot of division tags over here. So from all of those division tags, I'd want to extract, or I'd want to filter out only those division tags which have the attribute this. So where they have this attribute, class attribute. So again, Control Shift C. So that division tag needs to have this particular attribute over here, which is the class is equal to CB news intro. Now once we have that, we will go ahead and again store this in this new object called as links, and we have already done that. So I have printed out soup, and this is what we get. Now instead of soup, let me just go ahead and print out links over here. Now when I print out links, you will see that we have extracted all of these particular news intros over here. So let me start off with this. So you see that this line starts off with the division tag and class is equal to CB news intro, and this is the news. After a 143-day pandemic-induced break, cricket finally returns, albeit with a few new rules in Southampton. So that is basically this particular line. Similarly, let's go down over here. The next line is stats preview for the upcoming Wisden Trophy. And this is what we have. Now let's go down again. Then the next one is former India captain and cricket BCCI president Sourav Ganguly turns 48 today. Similarly, that is what we've extracted over here. Then we'll come to the next point. So here, England will also host Ireland for 3 ODIs from July 30th. The limited overs series against Australia to be rescheduled at some stage. And as you see, this is the next line over here. So basically we have extracted this particular part from the entire website, and this is what is known as web scraping. So let me see if there are any questions. I believe there would be some doubts over here. So Ambazu is asking, can we get the source code? Yes, so you'll have the link in the chat. So you can get the source code of this from that. Zafar is asking, can you tell us how to scrape with PHP? So in this session, we'll see how to scrape with Python. So we'll keep a note of this, and then we'll definitely see if we can take up a live session on how to scrape data with PHP. Piyush is asking, is it legal to scrape data? Data scraping or web scraping is totally legal. So for all of you folks who are confusing web scraping with hacking, these are totally different things. So let's say if you want to log into a website through some fake credentials, or if you want to let's say steal some private information, that is illegal. But here what we are doing is all of this data, this is publicly available, right? This is the CricBuzz website, and whatever news articles you see, these are publicly available. All I'm doing is I am extracting some portion of this data. Now let's say if I just copy this particular text over here, let's say if I just copy this, seems like my mouse cursor is going bad, and if I paste it over here, this I can absolutely do. This wouldn't be illegal. All I'm doing is I'm automating this task. Right now, if I want to manually select all of these news intros, that will take up a lot of time from my side. Right, so all I'm doing is I am creating a Python program which will help me to automatically extract all of this information. So I hope that answers your question. Khaza Hussain is asking, can we scrape table data? Yes. So whatever you see in this particular website, we can scrape all of it. We can scrape image data, we can scrape table data, we can scrape textual data, all of it can be done. Adarsh is asking, how can we structure this data? So all we have to do is, so what you see over here is we've got lines. Now we'd have to remove all of these tags over here, and then we'll just have text data. Then we can go ahead and store that text data into a simple pandas data frame. Piyush is asking, what is the use of scraping? So web scraping, whatever website you have, let's say if I just want to read, I just love to get cricket news on a daily basis, right? So if that is that is what I want, and let's say if I just want the highlights of all of the cricket news, and if I don't want to read anything else, then this would be the perfect task, isn't it? So all I'm doing is I'll just write this simple piece of code, and this would help me to get the gist of what is happening around the cricket world. Abhijit is asking, some of the pages refreshes or reloads frequently in this scenario when we read data sequentially. Will the refresh intervene with the read? Yes, absolutely. So that is why we have put the request command inside the try exception block. Right, so whenever we send a request, there could be if you send a request continuously, right? So there are a lot of possibilities. One possibility is if the website could identify this Python program as a bot, and then it will block you. Also, let's say if the server or the website server is slow, and even in that case, your request will not get a response. So that is why it's always better that whatever request you send, you put it inside a try catch block. Chandu is asking, why can I get source code? So if you want the source code, you can we will have the link in the chat over here, so you can have access to the source code through that link. Priyanka is asking, can we scrape dynamic websites like Facebook profiles? These commands would only help you to scrape static data, not really dynamic data. So dynamic data, that will cover in a different session. So beautiful soup, and particularly these set of commands, these would help you to extract only static data. And what is the difference between static and dynamic? Static is basically which stays constant and does not change. Dynamic is which changes continuously. Ankit Sarkar is asking, can we put this kind of project in resume? Will it be helpful? Yes, definitely. If you're looking for a Python developer job profile, or maybe a web developer job profile, this is something which will definitely help you. Right, so let's just get on to the last piece of code over here. So what we've done till now is we have extracted these lines of information from this. Once that is done, we will go ahead and what we're going to do is, you see, we also have these division tags and we also have the attributes over here, but I don't want that. What I want is only the text. Now, if I want only the text, all I'm going to do is, let's say I have this, I'll just start a for loop over here, and this particular, all of this data is present in links, and I'll have a for loop where I'll just type in for I in links. I'm going to just print out I.text. I don't want the tags. I don't want the attributes. What I want is just text. Now here I would basically mean each particular division tag over here, right? So let's say if you have around 10 division tags, then the I value will start from 0 and go till 9. So it will iterate 10 times and it will print whatever is present inside those division tags. So here, let me run this, and as you see, I have successfully extracted only the text from this entire entire division tags and attributes. So as simple as that. So this is a very simple application of web scraping where we have extracted all of this CRICBuzz data. Right now, isn't this beautiful? So over here, as you see, we had a lot of data over here. We had a lot of pictures, we had a lot of headings, but out of all of that stuff, we were able to extract only this intro news parts. Right, so this is a very interesting application of web scraping. Chandu is asking, is it possible to scrape in any website or any page? That would depend on if your request is met. So most of the pages are public. So let's say if you have any public websites, so most of the public websites, you can definitely scrape data, and also the data has to be static. So if the data is static and if the website is public, you can definitely go ahead and scrape whatever is present over there. Supriya is asking, was web scraping similar to data mining? Not really, Supriya. So data mining, it is actually an umbrella term which covers a lot of things. Now, data mining, it is not just related to web mining, web data mining, right? That data could be anything. You can get the data from a lot of sources. It could be maybe a simple Excel file, it could be data from maybe a website, it could be data from Hadoop file system, it could be data from Spark, it could be data from Kafka. You can get data from anywhere. And then data mining, what basically happens is you basically have this process or a life cycle where first you get the data, and then you perform some sort of pre-processing on top of it, and then you apply some machine learning algorithm. So that is the entire process of data mining. And just web scraping is one part of data mining where the data comes from websites. So as simple as that. Vedant is asking which Chrome plugin is being used that highlights the tags. I'm not using any plugins. So here, what I'm doing is, if you want to inspect a website, all you have to do is press Control Shift I. Right? So keep this in mind. All I'm doing is I'm just pressing Control Shift I. And here you have the Elements tab over here. So you've got a lot of tabs. You've got Console, Sources, Network, and Elements. Now, if I want to inspect whatever is present over here, I have to press Control Shift I, and this will give me all of this HTML code. And if I want to highlight a particular block, then I would have to press Control Shift C. So when I press Control Shift C, this will automatically give me the code for each of the block where my cursor is currently present. So I hope that answers. I'm not using any Chrome plugin over here. All I'm doing is first I press Control Shift I, then I press Control Shift C. So I get a lot of requests asking if the session will be in Hindi. We will definitely have this session in Hindi as well. So we'll keep that in mind. So Priya is asking, can we scrape LinkedIn data? Yes, we can scrape LinkedIn data. So again, that data has to be textual. So let's say you can maybe scrape some posts. So whatever posts are there, or whatever, let's say if you have any profile information, all of that can be extracted. So Tanvi is asking, can we use regular expressions in web scraping to get more filtered data? Absolutely, and that is what is happening, and that is what happens after scraping the data. So all of this is raw data, and if you want it in a more tidy format, then we can go ahead and use regular expressions to put it in a tidy format. Aditya is asking, can we use Visual Code instead of Jupyter Notebook? Absolutely. So I've been saying this again and again, guys. IDE is not really important. That would depend on totally you guys. If the same Python code will run on Visual Studio, the same Python code will run on PyCharm, the same Python code will run on Jupyter Notebook, the same Python code will run on Google Colab as well. Irrespective of whatever IDE you're using, all of this code will run smoothly. Right. So we are done with the this particular program over here. Now we'll just do a similar operation where we'll be extracting the reviews of iPhone. So let me open up this particular link over here. Let me copy this and let me paste it over here. Right. So as you see, we've got iPhone 11 Pro 256 GB space gray. So this time we are going to scrape all of the reviews over here. Right. So we've got all of these reviews, and this is what we are going to scrape this time. So again, because I don't know, maybe if you're too jobless, and maybe if you have a lot of time, and if you just want to read a lot of reviews on iPhone, you can do this. I found it to be an interesting application, so I thought, let me just go ahead and extract some reviews about iPhone Pro. So again, before we start off with this, I'd like to inform you again about Great Learning Academy. So guys, go ahead and check that out. We have a lot of courses over there. We have courses related to web development, web scraping, machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence. We have about data mining, cloud, DevOps, all of that. So you can check out courses of all of these courses over there on Great Learning Academy. You will find the link over there, and once you complete those courses, you will you'll get a course completion certificate, and you can go ahead and add that certificate onto your LinkedIn page or onto your resume, and that will be a huge value add to you guys. So go ahead and check it out. And also, if you want to learn through an app because of ease of learning, or let's say if you don't have your laptop with you in this lockdown, you can go ahead and also learn through the app. You will find the link for that as well. And also for the folks who are new to the channel, so I request you guys to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon, so you'll get all of the notifications of our new sessions and all of the live sessions that we are taking. And also it will encourage us to come up with more such videos on a regular basis. So yeah, as I was telling you guys, we'll be scraping this reviews about this iPhone 11. So again, we'll follow the same approach. So we'd have to import all of the libraries: sys, time, beautiful soup, requests, and pandas. Pandas, again, we are not really using it over here. And this time over here, we've got request.get, and inside this, the page which we'd want to extract, or the data which we'd want to extract, is from this particular page. So all I've done is I've copied this link and I have pasted that link over here. And once that is done, I just have another exception over here. So if the website maybe does not allow me or does not send me a response, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the exception, and that error will be handled. After that, I will put this into timeout, so that if I send requests continuously, Amazon doesn't flag me off as a bot and doesn't block me. So that is why I'm putting a delay of 2 seconds over here. Then I will go ahead and extract all of the HTML code. And to extract all of the HTML code, I'll use Beautiful Soup. Inside Beautiful Soup, again, 2 parameters. First parameter is page.text. So page is what we've created over here, the get object or the request object. And here we'll just type in page.text, and then we will have HTML.parser, which will, with the help of this, we are parsing the entire HTML text over here. Now let me just run this now. After I run this, let me just print out soup and let me show you what are we actually getting over here. So as you see, this is the entire HTML text which is present. So let me again press Ctrl Shift I, and when I press Ctrl Shift I, you would see that this is the entire text which is present. Now once I do that, I would want to extract only the reviews, those those elements. So see, so this is as you see, this is a review over here. I'll click on this. This is present inside the span tags. So as you see, that is why I have given find all span and the attribute. If you want to find out the attribute, you see this button over here, just expand this, and as you see, you have the let me just see what we have over here. So as you see, this is the classes a size base, and that is what I've given over here. Similarly, let me see if I want to find out the tags and the attributes for this. So I'll just type in Control Shift and then I'll press C. Let me again click on this. So you would see that the tag is span and the class is a size base. So that is why what I've done over here is, with the help of Beautiful Soup, I have extracted the entire text, and then I'll just use soup.findAll. This entire HTML data, I would want to find all of the span tags. And from all of the span tags, I would want only those span tags where the class is equal to a size base. And I will just go ahead and store this in this links object. Now, let me print out the links object over here. And this is what we get. So let me scroll down. So as you see, this is what we have over here. So we've got all of these reviews. Right. I've actually, let me run this first. I'd actually run the for loop. So let me go ahead and actually use print, and inside this, let me run links. So seems like we are actually getting an empty list over here, so we'll leave that out for now. Now, when I actually see this, and let me go up. So again, we are using this for loop, and with the help of this for loop, we are printing whatever is present inside that. Let me look at the first review over here. Let me go to this and let's see. So you have to love Apple. So this is the first review. As you see, you have to love Apple because they not only make amazing product, they make magic, and that is what we've extracted. Similarly, let me scroll down again. A smartphone that is not smart, and a 1 lakh phone for just a phone call. So that's a funny review over there, right? So let's see where that is. So let me close this. It will be easier for us to find out. Right. So so we've extracted most of these reviews over here. So this is how we can extract through different websites, and if it is static and if it's a public website, we can extract all of these. So let me see if there are any more questions over here. So Anjugam is asking, is it possible to store scraped data in a CSV file? Yes, all we have to do is use pandas, and then we can go ahead and convert this raw scraped data into a tabular format. So guys, keep coming up with your questions. So we are done with these two demos over here. So what we've basically done is there are two important things to keep in mind. One is the request library. Next is the beautiful soup library. With the help of this, we are sending a request to the web page, and then we'll get a response. Now, if we have to process that response object, we will need beautiful soup. So as simple as that. So all we have to do is just type in these simple, there is a simple commands over here. We've got like 6 lines of code. With these 6 lines of code, you will be able to scrape any textual data from any website. And yeah, if you guys want the code file for this, the link for it will be present in the chat. You can check that out. Rohit is asking, how could we know which site is private and which is public? Rohit, so from whichever site you'd want to scrape the data, just run this command, and if you get any error, then that would mean that that website will not support scraping. And most of the websites, I'd say 99% of the websites are public, and at least on the home page, whatever information you find, that you can scrape through very easily. So that shouldn't be a problem. Jemima is asking, instead of text, can we extract others like images? Yes, absolutely. So here what we'd have to do is, let's say if there's an image, then that image would be present inside of the img tag. So here instead of the div tag, we'll just put in img, and that will have some attributes over here, and we'll just have to specify that attribute. And once we actually give that, it will give us the image, or maybe it will give us the image in the form of an array. So we'd have to convert that array into image form again. So there is some image processing involved in that, just not web scraping. So that will be a bit more complicated. So maybe we can have another session where we are actually extracting dynamic data and as well as images from different websites. Not as of now, but I see that most of you folks would want this session in Hindi as well. So we'll definitely conduct this session in Hindi. We'll keep that in mind. Piyush is asking, can you tell more use cases of web scraping? Sure. So let me go to maybe news site. Let me see if we can extract data from Times of India. Let me just open this. So we have Times of India over here. Yeah, right. So they've got an ad over there. Let's say if I want to extract those bulleted points maybe, or these points. let me just go ahead and copy this, and what I'll do is I'll paste this over here. So we are going to scrape data from Times of India, and let's see now in Times of India. Let me again inspect what do we actually want. So I'll press Ctrl Shift I, and when I do that, we will have all of this HTML code. And let me scroll down. Let's say if I want, I'll just press Ctrl Shift C. Right. Now here we have this short set of news articles maybe, or maybe these we've got these one-liners over here. Let's see, we can also take that, or maybe this. Right, so let's see if I want something like this, then this is let's say present in the A tag over here. This is actually present in the LI tag. Right, so we've got all of this list over here, and let me see if there's a class as well. This is present in LI tag, and class is main story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find all the text where the tag is LI and class is main story. So I'm going to have main story over here. Let me click on run, and let's see what do we get. So we have extracted the entire HTML code this time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print links. Again, this is blank, so let me just run this. So seems like paste, so let me give a space over here and see what do we get. So you'd have to make sure that whatever you're giving, that is actually proper, only then it will work, else there might be some error. Let me see what else can we scroll through this actually. Let's close this, or there are a lot of links over here. Or maybe let's say if I want this, so again I'll have Control Shift I. We've got this, I'll press Control Shift and C, and let us check this. So this is span and class is W underscore TLE. So let me just change this to span over here, and I'll have W underscore TLE. So let me change this to W underscore TLE, and let's see if we've got everything set. So seems like everything is proper over here. Now let me run this. Oh, sorry, the error was okay. So here the error was actually we were trying to extract this from the Amazon website. Sorry, I apologize for that. This is Times of India, this is span, and this would be W underscore TLE. If I'm not wrong, yes, it is W underscore TLE. Now let me run this. So this time I'll definitely get a result. And let me print out links. Right, so we have successfully extracted whatever is present over here, Times initiatives, and now I'm going to print out this in a for loop, and let's see what are we going to get. Right, so as you see, we've got all of these individual items which were present. So Kanpur shootout, Vikas Dubey's aide, Amar Dubey killed in encounter. Then we've got labor, flooded with calls over Sushant's death. Nepotism, Alia's mother defends Mahesh Bhatt. So we've got all of this interesting items over here. Right, so whatever was present inside the span tag and class was equal to W underscore TLE, we have extracted all of that. Renuka is asking, can we share the recorded video link? Well, once the live session is done, you will have the link present. I mean, you will have the video in YouTube itself. We will not take the video down, so you don't have to worry about that. So there's another question from Renuka. She's asking us knowledge of Python enough for web scraping, and what is the use of it if we can simply do it using copy and paste commands. So I've just shown you guys a very simple demo of web scraping, but many a times, let's say if you want to automate a particular task, then this is very useful. Now again, if I want to do Control C, Control V for all of this, so let's say you've got maybe hundreds of small one-liners over here for news. If I want to do this manually, that will take up a lot of time. So this automation work, this with the help of Beautiful Soup, the automation work, it becomes very easy. Oh yes, Vedant. Control Shift L and Control Shift C, that is very handy actually. Anjugam is asking, can we scrape data on other state language related website? If we are actually, if we want to maybe, if it is present in the tags, then I believe we can do it. Personally, I've never tried to extract data which is present in other languages, so even I'm not sure. So I can't really tell you guys, if we can scrape text in other languages or not. So I'm just going through the questions, guys. If you have any more questions, put them in the chat. We've got a couple more minutes before we end it. Right, and also again, I just tell you before we end the session that we have a free learning platform called Great Learning Academy. You guys can go ahead and check that out. So link, obviously you will find it in the chat, and again, we have a lot of courses over there, and all of those courses are taught by industry experts, and some of the industry experts have their PhDs and master's degrees from Ivy League schools such as Stanford, and you've got IITs and NITs in India. So I believe most of you guys have seen tutorials by Abhinanda Sarkar and Professor Mukesh Rao on our YouTube channel. So if you want their full courses, if you want more courses by these esteemed faculty members, you can check those out on Great Learning Academy as well. So we've got a lot more courses by Professor Mukesh Rao and Dr. Sarkar on Great Learning Academy. And also you will get a course completion certificate over there. You can go ahead and add that certificate onto your LinkedIn page or onto your resume. And that will definitely help you to get that advantage over other folks who are appearing for the interview. And also, if you want to learn through an app, we've got this app called we've got a specific app dedicated to Great Learn. Also, if you guys are new to our channel, I'd request you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon, as it will encourage us to come up with more such live sessions. If you guys are still at home, if you guys want to upskill yourself, we'll be coming up with more such live sessions. So we've got more such outcome based lives on Amazon reviews. So right now we've just extracted the data. We'll be doing some sentiment analysis on the Amazon reviews. We'll be finding out if the reviews are positive, negative, or neutral. So that is something which we'll be doing in our next live session. So you can check out all of these live sessions on the Great Learning page. Piyush is asking, are all the courses available on the Great Learning app? Yes, whatever courses you find on Great Learning Academy on the website, you will find all of those courses on the app as well. So for your ease of use, we have created the app over there. All right. So I believe I've covered most of the questions today, and we have covered 3 examples. So I'd take a leave for today. So thank you very much for attending this session, and hope you guys are keeping safe and maintaining proper social distancing. So let's meet in the next